What's up everyone? So in this video I'm going to show you the solution to any type of clearance issues that you're having with a 17-inch wheel setup. I haven't seen any other videos on YouTube for this, so I decided that I'll just make the video for it, and I hope it helps you out. It's going to require a little bit of grinding and stuff like that, but take a look at that forum that I just posted at the beginning of the video on that screenshot, and that should kind of help ease your mind, because I'm not the only person doing this. There's other people that have. I just haven't seen a video on it. So do it all at your own risk and be safe. On the front wheels, you can see they're super skinny. These are, I think, what is the width on these? They're like 28 by 6 radials on a 18-inch front runner here. So the issue I had was the brake calipers were rubbing on here. Not the brake caliper, well, some of the brake caliper, but this isn't even that deep. It was literally just sticking out far enough to peel the paint off. And what I did was, instead of spending, you know, some people would tell me like, oh, just go buy some welds. I'm not spending 4, 5, 6 grand on a set of welds so that I can run the same times at the track. So instead what I did was just bought a cheap little file here. And again, I grinded some of the stuff on here, and I'm going to show you. So what I did was, this part of the brake right here, the brake pad, sticks out. I'm talking like maybe that much. Maybe that much. And all it does is it scrapes the inside of this front runner here. So what I did was I just took the file, and it took some testing, because I would file it down, I'd put the wheel on, spin it, and I would check every point here for any grinding. But really what it comes down to is I grinded this right here, then I grinded that down a tiny bit, so both the brake pads. Then this little corner right here, just grinded that down. This little bit right here, and then this little bit right here, you can see, and that little portion of the brake pad there. So yeah, if I got new brake pads, I'd have to do it all over again, but that won't be for a while. But this is the solution to getting the front runners to fit. Of course, as the hub centric ring here, the wheel fits fine as long as you do those things. I've heard people, so I bought them from a dude. He had them, he bought them from someone else, but on wildhammer.com or wildhammermotorsports.com, it shows a picture of these exact wheels, and they sell them and says it fits a ZL1. I don't know if, like, maybe just that small 1 millimeter of spacing is different from one ZL1 to another. Maybe they weren't made the exact same way, I don't know, but that was the solution for me. I'm gonna put them on and then drive them around. I think they should be fine. I've heard back and forth on whether these should be balanced or not. I took the wheel balancers off. I see forums of people saying they do balance their drag setup, and others say they don't. So once I get the lug washers that go inside of here, I'm gonna throw these on there, and there should be no more rubbing or anything. I ended up putting this on here onto the car and keeping pressure on it, and I spun it multiple times. I'd probably done 50 revolutions on there, and I was checking each and every point. I was putting a flashlight back behind here to see the light to make sure that I saw clearance, and as long as there's a little bit of clearance, I think there's about that much clearance, then you should be good. So I picked it up with one hand, picked it up with the other, and these felt about, if I had to guess, about 10-ish pounds, at least 10 pounds lighter. So with rotational mass and all that, yes, I'm only using a jack, no jack stands, because I'm just doing this really quickly. But yeah, I think that's going to be the solution. 60 foot's already improving with these on there. So yeah, that'll be it. So just a $10 file set, and you're good to go. You don't need a grinder. I think a grinder is way too much overkill for what you're doing with this. You might end up actually skipping over to something you don't want to be grinding. So all right, and here's what it looks like with them on. Rotated the wheels, there's no rubbing or anything. This is the stance on it on stock. Everything just swapped the wheels, but you can see the rears poke out just a tiny bit. The fronts don't pop out much at all. I don't think they're supposed to. Yeah, they don't really stick out at all, but they're tucked away like decent enough to where I mean the car still looks good with them on. Yeah, could maybe lower the car just a tiny bit. I'm gonna see if there's like a option to maybe put some rear springs so that it absorbs the initial launch a little bit easier. And then maybe just for some stance too, I'll find some springs that work for both, for look and for function for drag racing. But yeah, that's how they look.